Okay, this is it. Bar King, Bonnie and Eddie. And you're going to see, ladies and gentlemen, here is our defending champion from last year. What a difference in form and everything. Danny Lawson. Look at the instructions, how he delivers that ball now. Just a hair light, Eddie. I don't know if you remember him from last year.
Yeah, I remember Danny last year, and I like one thing he's doing. He didn't run the first ball through the beak. He took the ball away until you get the feel of the lane out there.
I couldn't believe it was the same young man when I saw him in practice.
We know last year when he bowled, he averaged 146.
And did he win a prize last year, Bonnie, being champion, that he got scholarship, so to speak,
right,
to the Pro Tour? Not the Pro Tour, but the Pro Camp.
Right, the Professional Bowler Camp. He received, he got paid, actually paid an expense-paid trip, which we paid his airfare and his entire week at the PBC. And his average has gone from 146 to a 173 in league in 1 year.
That's the same setup. But you could see the difference in what that camp has done to Danny.
Now, in this match, Louie Elwood gets 12 pins.
Oh, that's right. He gets 12 now. Remember that, Eddie. I forget. Sam has to nudge me every week and say, hey, whispers to me, first frame, handicap. I always forget to put that handicap in the first frame.
Well, our first two matches were even, so it was a little easier not to have to worry about it today.
So we don't mark it yet, but right now he has 22 sticks. He looks so much, only he's bigger than Louie. One of my grandson, Danny Wanger, looks so much like him. And he has a mustache also, but he's got a few years on Louie.
I was looking at this Danny, you know, he started at the age of 7.
And how old is Danny now?
14.
14?
He had 7 years experience.
God.
All right, let's see what Louie does with this now. Remember, he gets 12 pins. And they're still falling. All right, so we got 1931 sticks, right?
That's correct.
Right.
That's the kind of start I like to have. 31 pins in the first frame.
that beats a triple.
31. And as soon as old Louie shoots this pin, and no one ever misses.
Oh,
Nobody misses this one. Nobody misses. Not even Louie misses that one, and he's having a little trouble up there at sticking. Over here to say something. She's just chomping at the bits to tell us what about it. What is it there, Bonnie?
Oh, well, this summer, in fact, through September the 15th, the Greater Cincinnati BPA and the Ohio State Lottery have joined forces, and we're going to use the losing lottery tickets for people that can bowl 3 games and only pay for 2 during the entire summer months.
You can't beat that, can you?
Right, so don't throw your losing lottery tickets away. Take them to your favorite BPA center and bowl 3 games for the price of 2.
Can't beat that at all.
And we got a problem shot coming up here.
I know, this is a good cherry-picking shot right here. But he didn't do it. Nice cover.
I'm amazed at some of these youngsters, how they come out of that ball so clean. And just seems to be hitting the ball so nice and clean with their fingers.
Well, Eddie, when you were a youngster, and myself, I can't say this for Bonnie. She is a youngster yet. But we didn't have the YBA to help as a youth bowling association, what have you. Man, there's Grandma's teeth. That's the first time I've seen that set up in ages.
When I was this youngster's age, I was in the pits at St. Bonaventure.
I was going to say, I was over at Wee Tavern Lanes, which aren't anymore, setting up pins. The old pins that came out of the floor. Remember those, Bonnie?
I don't remember, but I have heard about them. If I may correct you, it's not a correction. The YBA, as of
That's right,
this
it's changed.
year, is no longer in existence, and it's the YABA.
YABA. Yaba.
Well, Young American Bowling Alliance, gentlemen.
I'm going back, still remembering the YBA. It's the Yaba. In fact, I talked to their president here not too long ago, came into town. I did an interview with him. I can't think of his name offhand. It's been several months ago. Came in from out of Milwaukee, I believe.
Ken Hurley?
That's the man, yeah. Ken Hurley.
I know Ken real well.
Well, Louie's got a chance here to pull away with a spare. He's about 14 sticks up right now, if I'm not mistaken. If he spares here, he can be more comfortably out in front of our defending champion from last year. A little shaver who's grown up, Danny Lawson. Grown up in so many ways, in size and in his form at the line and bowling. And Louie's making it tough on him, too.
I think if I was to work with Louie, I'd switch his approach around a little bit. His starting position and slow him down a little bit going to the line.
Well, maybe he's waiting for you to get him after the match, Eddie. But I know where you're going after the match.
Going with Motts and Bob Harvey.
You're going to be bowling on the greens.
I get the same score there.
Ooh, Eddie.
Asked your husband. I played with him, too. He's in the area.
Yeah, I noticed his hand when he comes out of the ball. His hand comes over on top.
Right on top.
Invariably every time. Mm-hmm. Louie Elwood, and you're going to see this mustachioed young man at the age of 14 next week, as he'll be at Coleraine along with Tammy Wagers, Ken Huxell, and Carol Kemper. 2 members of the fair sex and 2 boys.
Right now, Louie is up 25 pins after the third
He's
frame.
shooting the eyes out of those spares, too. Danny, you're in trouble as you start putting a few X's up on the board. Just dawned on me, we haven't had one yet. No sooner said than done. All righty. Danny says that's more like it.
I see we have Don Smith from Pepsi sitting down here with us today, along with Bob Snodgrass, the manager over here at Super Bowl, and Doug Martin, who is the owner. Let's see who else we got down here. Of course, Scott Lang, our standby, and Pam Houchins, who bowled last week.
All right, no sooner said than a double, and we'll be right back after this pause for a Pepsi. And we're back after that refreshment with a Pepsi. Louie Elwood says, hey, what happened here? Danny Lawson just slammed 2 in a row at me.
I was looking at their sheet here, and they both play baseball. And when I talk to the groups of youngsters and parents, I always, tell them that they'll be playing the game of bowling long after they finish their baseball career.
Mm-hmm. How true. You can bowl, you can't play baseball when you're in your 60s and 70s. Not unless you're Pete Rose.
or Perry.
Or Gaylord Perry. But you can bowl. Speaking of bowling, get out to that BPA lane this afternoon and those air-conditioned lanes and do some of that shooting.
That's right. Get out of the heat and into the cool.
Speaking of being of that age, Doug over here is running a senior citizen special on Mondays from 1 to 3 p.m. and it's all you can bowl for $2.
I see that. Mm-hmm. Nice sign down there. Oh, I got a kick out of thank goodness it's Friday special. That's what a lot of the workmen say. Thank goodness it's Friday.
TGIF.
They also have a really neat thing on Saturday nights called Razzle Dazzle.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Oh, he fouled.
Did he go over the line?
Yes, he fouled.
I don't know if he did or not because I don't see any red light on or what have you.
No, but I heard the buzzer.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
How could you hear the buzzer with those cans on?
I have no idea. I did.
Well, there is a wild pitch and a foul, and he gets, 10 pins?
That's right.
It. 95. Oh, that hurt. He's been having trouble. I think it's his speed of foot, Eddie. Correct me.
Yeah,
him
that's what
rushing
it
the
is.
line that's causing him to have. He's been doing that several times today, almost going over that line.
I think he's coming close to fouling with the right hand.
That's what he did that time.
He ends up with his left foot completely sideways at the line, too, rather than square, which has a tendency to show a little more speed on the feet than necessary.
Well, when I did a lot of instructing, I always told the youngsters that whatever you get going toward that foul line, you got to bring it to a halt.
You know, he almost did it again.
Yeah, he is using the right hand to stop himself.
Sure.
Well, now, right here, Danny can start taking charge if he tacks one on here.
Danny shows so much more composed than
Doesn't
last
he,
year.
though?
He just really has matured.
Look at that. Turkey time. What goes good with turkey? Pepsi, of course, Eddie.
Right on. I'm watching Danny out here. He is playing the ball from the inside shot and taking the ball away and bringing it back nice and comfortable. And that's a good swing area for him.
Eddie, you should have seen him last year.
You looked at Louie today. That was Danny last year. He wanted more than 6 on that turkey there, too.
He's up by 2 pins now after 5 frames.
Right.
And that will be increased in the next one.
That's right, because of Lou's foul and, of course, not filling frame with a spare.
Look at the way he shoots this.
He's now up by 15.
15 sticks on top.
Came from 25 down to 15 up in 4 short frames.
There goes our score reading lad up there. Louie likes to look at that and say, what do I have to do here? What am I down? Well, Louie, you're down about 15.
You know, Bonnie, you were talking about that razzle-dazzle. He runs that over here on a Saturday at midnight to 3 a.m. in the morning. And you can win money by rolling a strike whenever there's a colored pin up there.
Well, that's sort of interesting.
I wonder what Louie's waiting for.
Well, I think he's waiting for him to fix lane 7.
I think we got a breakdown on lane 7, too.
It looks like there could be a pin lodged in the...
9 for Lou. And the right side, the 10 pin. Now, whatever has happened to lane 7, it's back in operation again.
That can be very distracting. I can understand why Louie waited, because if you have someone of the lane, going on and off next to you, it can be very distracting on your approach.
You can be in about the second or third step and a whole rack of pins fall down.
I'll tell you something, a funny story about, oh, he blew that one too. We were over at Western Bowl bowling here. The wife, Barb, and Danielle, myself, and they were having trouble on another lane with a rack. Pins were falling down, and myself, I stopped on it. I mean, it's distracting. Not Barb. She goes up there and bowls away. Does that bother you? No, didn't bother her at all. I couldn't do that.
Oh, he threw that ball much better.
That was the best looking ball that he's thrown thus far, you know that, in this match.
He was a little slower on the right lane. I was going to comment on it, and he's slowing down a little bit at the line. See how he plays this one.
Well, let's see what he couldn't get to 7, to 10. Let's see if he can get to 7. Oh yeah, he's going to make that 7.
Okay.
What do you got there, Bonnie?
Well, I just I have a reminder. This is the end of the season, and most of your winter leagues are finished or have been completed, and the standing sheets, the final standing sheet that the sanctioned leagues are supposed to be sending in. I just wanted to stress the importance of getting those into the ABC and the WIBC, because if the secretary doesn't send them in, your name does not go in the average book, and then if you're bowling in any tournaments in that, they cannot verify your average either locally or out of town. So it's really important for the league secretaries to mail that standing sheet in now.
Okay.
It's really important. Also for the youth leagues, because the kids that bowl in this particular tournament, if the league secretary didn't turn it in, we cannot verify an average.
All right, good count there.
He was just a little...
I can't believe this, but I'm looking at this kid bowl from where he was. He was just rare back and through the ball last year.
Very, very similar to Louie Elwood. That's why I keep saying. It amazes me to see the two, because that's what Danny Lawson used to look like.
You know the old adage, speed only knocks one thing down. That's your average.
Terrific, Ed.
He's got a 200 game here if he can string a few.
With an open at...
Next week, remember, Fran Ruggeri's Coleraine, Tammy Wagers, one of the twins, Louie Elwood, young man you're looking at right now, Ken Huxell and Carol Kemper. And Louie says, I'll have to take 7 on that. Louie, I think your reign has come to an end there. You defeated Lynn Farr, but I don't think you're going to take Danny Lawson this time.
Yeah, Danny's up by 29 pins now in the 8th frame.
Louis is suffering right now with hand and arm and feet coordination. He actually set that ball behind the line, the first one.
Well, let's see. He can get, what, 78 if he goes all the way. Well, Danny's already got this locked up with a mark, isn't he? In fact, he may not even have to mark. No.
That's Saranara time. And
I think Lou is a little upset with himself.
Well, take a look at the sheet. Lou hasn't strung. He hasn't one scratch, has he? Or a strike, has there? Well, chicken scratches, as Sam likes to call it. He still didn't get the strike. So, Danny, you're a winner. Our defending champion has won his first appearance of 83. This is 82, 83 for them.
I've been having that same problem lately, too. Getting my years mixed up.
Well, Louis did win a headpin tournament. I was looking down here. And it's a little unusual to see him miss the headpin as many times. That was a little bit...
he can get 165, but already, without even rolling a ball, Danny Lawson's won it.
You know, this is a very respectable game for Lou, considering his average is 157, so he is bowling his average.
His average, right.
So that's something that you have to consider, and the fact that Danny Lawson is bowling over his. In fact, Danny shot 660 scratch to make the show here.
Danny Lawson, 660.
Yeah, with his handicap, it was a 724.
All right, it's 165 for Louis. One thing he's going to have to stop doing, and I notice, is hitting that line with his left foot and turning it way. You always say keep the left foot pointed at your target. Right, Professor?
That all starts right back here at the first part of the ball, ball swing.
Look at this young man go here. A fine-looking bowler. Whoa, what that school did for him, Bonnie.
That's tremendous. Danny has just, like I can't get over it. After seeing him last year and this year, it's not the same person.
He's had almost every ball in the area eligible for strikes. Even the split was close.
Look at this. He's got his 200 plus.
Doesn't he show so much confidence in the way he walks and everything?
It's not the same.
Well, I'm looking at there and I'm thinking, I've been to school and I've been taught how to do this, and he's doing it. He's just doing what he was taught, which is tremendous.
207. The winner, our defending champ, Danny Lawson, will be back right after this.
I wish we had time to talk to these youngsters, but we don't. But, boy, what a difference in this milk. Oh, Danny Lawson, our king, ladies and gentlemen. What a job, Danny. What a job all these youngsters did. A $25 certificate to you, Harold Peets. You're a fine-looking bowler yourself. And to you, young lady, one of the finest young bowlers I've seen in a long time, Lynn Farr, $50 to you. Louie Elwood, 14-year-old with a mustache. How long did it take you to row that?
I don't know.
You'll be back next week. We'll see, we got one there for 75. And to you, 125 to our king here, Danny Lawson. Danny, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Now we have something else for you. Go right ahead there, Bonnie.
Okay, on behalf of the Greater Cincinnati BPA, I'd like to present each one with their plaque for their place. We have 4th place for Harold Peets. We have 3rd place, Lynn Farr. Congratulations. I got to get to these. 2nd place, Louie Elwood. And Danny Lawson, I cannot believe the difference in you in 1 year. It's marvelous. Congratulations.
Oh, what a deal. Eddie, been a pleasure having you.
Always a pleasure, Jack.
Eddie Jackson. Our Pepsi man over here, Don Smith. Don, good to have you with us again. Doug, thanks for being a genial host.
Thank you. We enjoyed it.
And we enjoy coming to the Super Bowl. Good afternoon from the Super Bowl.
BPA Youth King of Bowling has been brought to you by the Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company of Cincinnati. Take the Pepsi Challenge and let your taste decide. Bowler shirts and T-shirts were provided by Hal Manufacturing Company. Tell your story with imprinted sportswear. Be sure to join us again next Sunday at noon when more of the area's top young bowlers will compete on the BPA Youth King of Bowling.